a great Friday. I am so glad it's Friday. Y'all, today we are going to do these popsicles. We're going to paint these popsicles or decorate these popsicles. These are available at celebrationcompany.com. We have the traditional or the bomb pop and then the traditional popsicle. And we're going to do them both. Of course, they're both going to be patriotic. These are really great for bowl fillers. They're really cute for tiered tray accessories. Just sitting on a shelf in a little vignette or something like that is really cute. I think that several of these in a little dough bowl would be absolutely adorable, or a cute little basket. Something along those lines. So these are really fun. They come with the popsicle hole in the bottom, so you can go ahead and add your popsicle in there, and they're just absolutely adorable. And so we're going to make these even more adorable today and turn them into some really cute patriotic decor. So when you hop on, say hey, let me know you're watching. I hope you're having a great day. Let's see who we've got joining. Hi, Stacy. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Dorothy. Hey, Lori. Stop doing that. I don't. Hi, Cindy. Hello, Tina. Hi, Jenny. I'm glad you could be here live, too. Hello, Danae. Happy Friday. Hey, Linda. Good afternoon. Hi, Rhonda. Hey, Teresa. It's so hot in Jersey, 98. Wow, it's 83 here. So thankfully it's not that hot. Hi, Pam. Oh, good, Pam. Hi, Jezelyn. Hey, Lynn. Hi, Gina. I'm glad to see all of y'all today. Thanks for joining. Hey, Lisa. So, again, these are at thecelebrationcompany.com. I can't remember how much they are, so let me tell you. $2.99. They're $2.99 a piece, and we have the classic and we have the bomb pop. So these are really fun, and we're gonna have some fun with them today. So you can grab those. Hey, Carol. Hi, Rosemarie. Y'all, by the way, Mom let me know that she added a bunch of stuff to the last pick party. So that's sort of our discounted section on our website, things that we'd like to clear out. So she added a lot of stuff to that. So make sure you go check that out as well. Let me just post some links in the comments real quick for y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and post the popsicles, and then I'll also post the link to the last pick party. And again, that's just our discounted section on our website. Things that we need to clear out. Okay, so there's that one. And then let me put this one in here. So there are, I see a vintage item. There's quite a few different things. Some ephemera, our patriotic napkin collection, which I'm going to be using one of those patriotic napkins today. Quite a few different things in here. So all of those items are discounted. So you want to make sure to go check that out, because you can find some really great stuff. Okay, so let's get into it. I've got this napkin here that is a part of our patriotic napkin collection, and we're going to use this on our traditional popsicle. And then our bomb pop, we're going to be doing the red, white, and blue, okay? So let's do this one first, our traditional one first, all right? And I'm not going to paint this because I'm going to be using... hello over on YouTube. I'm going to be using this napkin, and so it is going to be better for me to start off with that white. So I'm not going to paint it, but I am going to, let me grab a piece of tape to help me separate this napkin, because it's hanging on pretty good. Hello, Pam. Okay. And there we go. So this is just a really fun pattern. I just think it's so pretty. I think it's going to be beautiful on this cute little popsicle. I am going to turn it, I think, instead of running it straight up and down, I think I want to turn it at an angle so that my stars are going horizontally. Cindy, I did give a brownie review. I posted a video the other day, the night that I did it, and so far, so good. Griffin and I are actually enjoying the brownies. We're liking them. We are liking them. Griffin, I'm surprised, is liking them. Of course, we are not eating sugar right now, and so it's a little something sweet. It does have a little bit of a brownie texture, especially after they've been refrigerated. And so I'm here for it. I think that I am going to make them again. And I'm going to make a version for Griffin, though, that has ground up oats in it. I feel like that would work and it would give it a better texture. And I'm totally fine, of course, with him having the carbs. So I think I'm going to try it for him and add that. And of course, if it wasn't for me trying to avoid the sugar with Griffin right now, I would put a little bit of maple syrup in there because I think it would help it a lot. But because we're doing no sugar right now, I don't want to make it worse. And he's eating them the way that they are, so I'm just going to leave it alone. So let's get to it. I'm going to grab my sander here and my decoupage, and we're going to put some decoupage glue on here. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. Thank you all for watching over there. You know, my nose keeps running. So I'm going to start with the front, and we're just going to get an even layer of decoupage glue onto the front of our popsicle here. And like I said, I'm going to turn this at an angle. I'm going to start in the middle, and then I'm just going to come in here and press this into that crevice, starting in the middle and then working outward so that I'm able to get it into those little indentions. And then I'm just going to gently press around. Now, if you want to make sure that this is nice and smooth, it doesn't have wrinkles in it, you can take a piece of plastic wrap, and you'll just take the piece of plastic wrap, lay it down on top of here, and then you just use that to rub, and you can get it really nice and smooth with that plastic wrap. So I'm just going to use my brush to help me out just a little bit to make sure that this is adhered. All right, and then I'm going to dry this before I remove. I'm going to take the heat tool to this and just make sure all of that glue is dry. This is going to be adorable. You can already tell. All right, so I've made sure it's dry, so now I'm just going to take my sander. I'm going to go around the edges and remove all of the excess. Okay. Look how cute that is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take my decoupage glue and I'm going to go back over this and seal this up. And we're going to do the edges and the back side as well, hopefully. So I'm just getting this sealed, and then we'll take the heat tool back to it. Hey, Tina. Tracking on my DIY decor box says it will be here today. I cannot wait to see what's inside. I feel like a child at Christmas. Oh, yay. I'm so glad. I can't wait for you to see it. You're going to love it. All right. Drying that down. And then I'm just going to gently rub over it as it cools. And I don't mind if I have some wrinkles in mine. There's not very many, but I don't mind it because I'm going for a sort of vintage look anyways. Look how cute that is. Is that not the most adorable thing ever? All right, so we're going to do this other side now, and I'm just trying to use the same side of the napkin because I want a long piece that I can use to do the edge, okay? So we'll just repeat that same process. Nice thin layer of decoupage glue. You do not want it thick, especially not when you're working with a napkin, because then you're just going to run the risk of it tearing, and you don't want that. Hello, Donna. Hey, Sandy. Hi, Gail. Again, I'm running this at an angle. So I'm just going to lay it on. I'm going middle first, just rubbing the middle down, and then I'm just picking it up and using my finger to press it into the little indentation. And then just gently rub this out everywhere else. Yay, Pam, I'm so glad you think so. I'm going to use my brush here to just press this into those little indentions. Okay. Hey, Linda, we are working on some popsicles. These are some little popsicles that are available on the website. This is the traditional one, and we're also going to be doing the bomb pop. Just going to rub some of these wrinkles out a little bit. Make sure it's dry, and then we'll sand away the excess. I like to make sure it's dry before I sand because I don't want to tear the napkin. And if the napkin is wet, it's a lot easier for it to tear. So I try and get it sanded before I remove it. Okay, so now let's do a layer of decoupage glue on top just to seal that in. Go. All right, so now we just need to do the edge. Teresa, we are going to. We just have not gotten it started yet. But it is in the plan. All right, let's see if I can get this to where it looks like I can't. trying to make it to where I can not have to match this up. Okay, it's gonna have to be like that. I think is gonna work. So, since that's working, I'm gonna leave it like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and get my glue on here. Okay. Then I'm just going to pick it up now and do the rest. Yeah, we are going to do the Tuesday talks. We just need to finalize some details on it. And it's just been such a busy week. There's no way we could have gotten to it this week. But we do plan on doing it. So that'll be lots of fun. So on Tuesdays, we're going to just get together and we're just going to have some talk sessions, kind of like a little talk show. And we're going to have different topics. So it'll be all kinds of different things. And so we got to plan out those topics. All right. Just make sure this is dry, and then we'll sand away the excess and do one more layer of decoupage glue. So I'm just going to take my sander and very gently go around the edge. I'm so glad, Teresa. Okay. All right. There we go. Look how precious that is. Isn't that adorable? All right. So I'm going to get some more decoupage glue and let's just get these edges. Just make sure all the seams are sealed up. Okay. And our cutie little popsicle is just about done, this one at least. Let's try it, and then we are going to just distress this a little bit. And we're going to add our popsicle stick. I think I'm going to put a little on the bottom too. I didn't think I was going to, but now I've decided that I want to. So I'm going to do the bottom. I think think it's just going to finish it off. Okay. Here we go. All right, now the whole thing is covered. So this is really great. You can use a napkin to decoupage these. You can do anything. You do not have to do patriotic. You can do summer. You can do, watermelon theme, lemon theme. You can do a fall theme with these. You can do anything. It doesn't have to be summer. You could make ornaments. That would be super cute. Okay, so here's our little popsicle. Super cute. So now we're gonna distress this a little bit because I want kind of a vintage look. So I'm gonna grab some gloves, of course. And I've got my raw umber, and we're gonna give this a wash with raw umber and a baby wipe. And probably need a pouncer as well. So I'm just going to take some raw umber. That was a little bit too much. And just rub this all over the popsicle. And then I'm going to take my baby wipe and remove it. Yeah?
Are these strawberry protein pastries mine?
They're not. They're Daddy's.
Can I have one?
No, you got to ask him. Okay. I'm really liking how this is looking. Hi, Sabrina. Hello, everybody. Okay. And then if I see some spots that I want it to have a little bit more, I can just take my pouncer and just sort of rub over it. Just to give it a little bit more. Look how cute that is. Now, of course, you don't have to do this if you don't like this look. All right, now I'm going to get a popsicle stick and I'm going to stain the popsicle stick. I'm going to need 2 popsicle sticks. So I'm just going to take my pouncer and just rub some raw umber onto the popsicle stick. There we go. And this is going to go right into our hole. I'm just going to take some super glue. And I'm probably not going to put it in all the way. So I'm going to take a little bit of super glue and put it inside the hole. And then I'm going to stick the popsicle stick in however far I want. I think I'm going to go about right there because I want to tie a bow on it and I still want to be able to see that popsicle stick. All right. So there's that one. We're going to be adding some more to this. But that's where we're at right now. Let's move on to our bomb pop. Okay. So for the bomb pop, I am going to grab some tape, I think. Some masking tape. Let me take these off. I'm going to need them again, but I don't feel like leaving them on. So I'm just going to take some masking tape and I'm going to tape this off. Just go all the way around. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to distress it. So, all right, and then we're going to do again, and you could use a wider piece of tape so that we can do the red and the blue. They are, Tracy, they sure are. All right, there we go. So we've got this taped off. I'm just going to take and rub my fingers on here to make sure that it's adhered. Yay, Danae. Thank you so much. Okay, so we got it taped off. So the middle is going to be the white. The top is going to be the red. I'm using Santa red. And then the bottom will be the blue. So we're going to have to get a few coats on here in order to get this to cover. I think these are going to be so adorable together. All right, there's the red. We need to mix the blue because I want it to match this blue that's on our little traditional popsicle. And I'm not sure that this one's going to be quite right. This is vivid blue. I'm going to add a little bit of white to it. Not a lot, but just a little. I'm going to add a little bit more white. And I think I'm going to add a smidgen of red to this as well. Because I just want to get it to be a little bit more cool. Or, I mean warm. I'm going to go a little bit more. A couple more drops of red. Okay. I'm happy with that. So this is what we ended up with. And I'm going to use this for the bottom. Oh my goodness. Look how cute. You can already tell it's going to be adorable. Look at that already. You'll see that. Okay. Let me dry it. We're gonna need a few coats of red and 2 coats of blue. Thank you, Christine. I do have a class on how to mix paint colors. If you're interested, it's available on our website as well. It's a paint mixing class. It comes with your paint and your paint mixing supplies and a color wheel and all sorts of different things. Brianna, we are making some popsicles, some patriotic popsicles. These popsicles are available at celebrationcompany.com, and we're painting them and decorating them today. So we already did our traditional popsicle. Now we're doing our bomb pop. Oops, I forgot to paint the bottom. Should probably do that. All right. Now let's do a second coat. Okay. Need my red. I'll probably have to do like 4 coats of red in order to get it to the tone that I want it. I don't mind so much if it's not completely covered because I am going to distress it. But the more layers you do, the darker it is. It looks less pink. And so I think for that reason, I'm going to have to do probably 4 coats. All right, let's do another coat of blue, which is probably all we'll need for the blue. Okay. Go. All right. Here's how it's looking. Remember, we do have tape on there, so we're going to be pulling that off. Kelly, the celebrationco.com. I have posted the link up in the comments at the top, but it's the celebrationco.com, and you can type in popsicle and it'll come up. All right, the blue looks pretty good. I think it's good to go. Yes, Christine, it's a napkin, and the napkin I got out of our Patriotic napkin collection. So that is where you can grab that. By the way, those are discounted currently in our last pick party. So you can grab all of the Patriotic napkins, and this is one of them for a discounted price. All right, 3rd coat. We'll see how it looks. Okay. think I'm still going to do a 4th coat, but it's looking pretty good. I think 4 coats is going to get us there. And it's giving me that deeper red that I was looking for. All right, last coat. Y'all, did you know that when you're painting something and you're using tape, that if you tape over and then paint over your tape line with the color that's behind the tape, and then paint whatever color you're wanting to paint, it will give you the absolute crispest line you have ever seen. I learned that recently, and it's genius. It's kind of amazing. So for instance, if we had painted this white first, which we did not because it was already white, but if we had painted it white first, then we could have put our tape on and then go over all of those tape lines with the same color white. 1 coat with the same color of white. Then do our red and our blue and pull off, and you will get perfect lines. That would be cute, Gina. All right. So here we go. We're going to take off the tape. Here's where we're at right now. Let's take off the tape. Before I do, though, I'm going to get this paint off so that I don't get it on the popsicle. Okay. I might be able to find, let me see if I can find the QR code for the popsicles. Here they are. Okay. So there you go. There's the QR code for the popsicles. You can take a screenshot, go into your photos, hold your finger down on that QR code, and it'll bring up the link if you're watching on your phone. Okay, so let's remove our tape. It looks cute. All right, so I'm going to make sure this is dry, and then we're going to sand it and distress it a little bit. Okay. Hello, Paula. All right, so I'm just going to take my sander, and we're just going to go in here and just go over these raised areas, even on the inside, and just give this a sand. Just kind of distress that paint a little bit. Okay. I'm going to grab a brush, a dry brush, just to clean this up a little. Remove some of that where I sanded, that dust from where I sanded. There we go. Okay, so this is what it looks like Like nails on a chalkboard, yeah. This is what it looks like once you sand it. So now we are going to, again, add our raw umber to this to give it a vintage distressed look. Okay. So I'm just going to take my raw umber and get a different baby white. Baby white, some raw umber on here, and then I'm just going to start rubbing this into the popsicle, and then I'm just going to come back with my baby wipe and just remove. And you can remove however much you want, but we're going for really vintage look. So see that versus that, right? See what that does? I just love how it almost gives it this look, this wood look. Go back and add more if you want to. Ugh, looks so good. I'm gonna go over the bottom a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna sand the bottom a bit. There we go. And then I'm gonna go over it. I'm gonna help it a little bit. Okay. So there's our bomb pop. How cute is that? Imagine 3 or 4 of these in a bowl. Oh my word. So cute. Alright, so we're going to take our popsicle stick again, and we're just going to stain it just like we did on our first one with the same paint that we used on the outside, the raw umber. And I'm just going to take a little bit of super glue and just put it right in the hole on the bottom of the popsicle. And I'm going to push my popsicle stick in to where it's the same distance as the other. All right, about like that. Look how cute these are. Oh my goodness. Now, you can take this a step further. You can add a bow to the handle on these. I kind of thought about a tag as well would be kind of cute. So if you take like some cardstock, I'm just going to take and cut out a little tag. Doesn't need to be very big. And I'm going to cut an angle on the top. No, Christine, I did not paint it before. And then we can take our hole punch and make a little tag there. And let's grab, I'm just going to use this pouncer and the same, what's already on here, and just go around the edge with that raw umber. There we go. Okay, thinking it needs to go on here because of the color. And I was thinking about just spelling out USA with some stamps. Let me find my stamps. Or, yeah, we'll just do USA. Let's see here. Let me find which stamps I want to use. Let's do these. Let me get my block. Okay, so these, I don't know which, I can't think of which one this is, but these are available also on the website, as well as the stamp blocks. And we're going to do the U, and I'm just going to take the U and I'll just cut this U out. This big U. And then the S. And the A. All right, let's see how that looks. Okay, I'm gonna grab my Distress ink in the color Walnut Stain. And we're gonna use that to add the USA. Like that. All right, I think I'm gonna just take a dollop of hot glue and just add my little tag right there on my popsicle. And I had pulled out this ribbon right here, which I was hoping to use, but I don't think I like it. And somebody said raffia. I think raffia is definitely going to be the best way to go with this. I really want to use this ribbon, but I just haven't found the right thing yet. So let me grab some raffia. Let's see here. So we can just take a little bit of raffia and let's just make a little bow with this. A messy bow. Just gonna tie this in the middle. Okay. That off, and then, oh my word, how cute is this? Little hot glue right at the top of the tag. And then let's do another one for the other popsicle. Okay. Whoops. And then let's tie this. A rusty star would be cute. Okay. All right, let's get this little bow fixed up. And this is going to go on the popsicle stick at the bottom. So I'm just going to do a little hot glue right there and add this bow. These are just precious. We'll see what a rusty star looks like. I really like them just like this. How cute are those? I mean, they're just precious. Let me see what a rusty star looks like. Let me find my rusty stuff. Where are you? You're right here. That is pretty cute. Did you already? You did. You already came off. I'm probably going to have to put it on with some super glue, but we're going to just do that again for now. Little rusty star. I don't think they both need it. I think I like just the one. Look how precious those are. Have you ever? I mean, and y'all, they were very easy to do. Very easy to do. How cute. So the napkin that I used on this one is in our Patriotic napkin bundle, which is on sale right now. And then the popsicles are available. They're $2.99 each. I did put the QR code. It is right here at the bottom of the screen. If you're using your phone, you can just take a screenshot and then go into your photos on your phone and hold your finger down on that QR code and it'll bring up the link. Otherwise, you can, of course, just scan that QR code. So there you go. Super duper cute. And we used raw umber. We used Santa red and vivid blue and a little bit of a warm white as well to lighten up the blue. Dee Dee, they are about 4 inches tall. Both of them are about 4 inches tall. And then that doesn't include the popsicle stick. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, that's all I have for you today. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed this little project. I will see you all Monday. Make sure you check out our sale area of our website because there is a lot of stuff on there. And be sure, as always, check out the new arrivals because there are some new arrivals as well on our website. So always be sure to check that out. Love you guys, and I'll see y'all Monday. Bye, everybody.